Welcome to Aligned and Alive, where we move beyond the surface and into your deep knowing. I'm Shyane Montgomery, and this is your space to trust your intuition, clear what no longer serves, and rise into your highest self. Your wisdom is already within. You're here to remember. Hello, beautiful beings. Sending so much love. I hope you've had an incredible week, and I'm excited and looking forward to jumping in to a conversation around alignment and what it actually means. Now, the reason that this conversation is important is because there is a way that we can live and operate in our life that allows us to do it from a place of flow and a place of ease rather than force and hustle. And I don't know about you, but I think that sounds pretty dang delicious. Sign me up for more of that. In order to get to alignment, we have to understand what it is and the components that really allow us to operate with that kind of support. So what is alignment? Alignment is basically living in congruency. Your thoughts with your actions. And I would dare say it's not even our thoughts. We're going to go a bit deeper in this because I want you to fully understand the different systems that make you up as a human, all of the wholeness that creates and is at play with the way that we show up in life. So there was a point in my life that I was only connected to the mental. I was aware of the mental and I was aware of the physical. And past that, nothing else existed. And I will tell you that it was the most miserable time of my life because the only thing that I was worried about is how I looked and what other people thought of me. So what other people thought of me was my mental running the show. And how I looked was the physical running the show. And it was at a time when I was at a breaking point that I actually got to learn that there's more to me than just my mind and my thoughts and my physical body. Now, I know that that might sound silly, but this awareness and this knowledge was life-changing for me. And I think it's so cool the way that things are created. They're so symbolic. And so I want to share with you an analogy. And I want you to see if you can really envision, like really just like take a moment to try to envision what I'm saying. So I believe that we are a soul and a spirit that wants to expand and wants to grow. And so we said yes to this human experience. And so we have this soul and we have this spirit. And then what happens is we're developed in the womb. And at around 7 weeks, scientists have actually proven this. They've seen it, that around 7 weeks, there's a burst of light that happens in the womb and the heart starts to beat. And so we have the spirit and the soul. And then there is a heart system that is created. And then after the heart system, the brain starts to develop and we get a mental system. And then after that, the nervous system develops and we have an emotional system. And then the physical body, when the physical body is complete, we then have the physical system. And so this is how we develop. This is how we are created. And when we live and operate within that same order, structure, and system, we experience alignment. So let's walk through this. Let's really break this down so that you have a better understanding of what this looks like. So the spirit knows it comes from a place of unconditional love, enoughness, love. Like, there's nothing we have to earn. There's nothing we have to prove. We just are perfect innately. So we have a spirit and a soul that knows that. And then we have this heart system. And this heart system is all about love. And the way that I like to look at the heart system is like, we can just see people with so much compassion and love for life. It's about like desire. There's no such thing as too much, wanting too much, or not being able to accomplish it, or not being worthy of it. The mental system, the job of the brain is to keep us safe. And it can be such an incredible helper in our everyday life if it's not running the show. If it doesn't become the head cockadoodle do, the mind can keep us safe because that is its job. Don't walk out into the road with busy traffic. Our brain can keep us safe. If it's not controlled and not in the right alignment and order, it can keep us stuck. So the mind is all about keeping us safe. And so how the mind shows up when it's out of order and out of alignment is we start to value safety, control, and what other people think, rather than living from a place of what we innately value, like growth or connection with God or family or education. So if we aren't living within our unique values, we will start to value what other people think, safety, and control. Okay, I'm going to come back to this, but just stick with me here because this is going to be such a powerful analogy and I'm so excited for you to get it. Okay, so after we have the mind, the mental system, we have the emotional system, the nervous system, our ability to feel emotions, our ability to be able to hold emotions, let them process through us, our fight, flight, or freeze. It is our ability to feel and allow those feelings to move through us so that we can show up and that it's not all held within the nervous system and we go into shutdown. Okay. And then we have the physical body, the action towards the things that we've been inspired by. So when we are living in this alignment, in this order from our spiritual, our soul, then our heart, then our mental, then our emotional, then our physical bodies, when we're living in this alignment, imagine how this energy can flow. It can flow in a powerful way. This life force energy comes down and through us, through the crowns of our head, coming down and like energizing us. Okay. But what happens is if the mind is overdrive and the mind starts to run the show, then we go horizontal and we lose the connection to God, source, all that is, that energizes us, that inspires us, that it's those intuitive hits. We disconnect from that and we go horizontal. And that is when we experience burnout, when we start to operate from a place of people pleasing, when we are so tired, but yet we haven't done anything. That's when you know you've lost the connection that runs vertically and it fuels you and you feel this life force energy, this flow, this like aliveness. And when you've gone horizontal, you just lose it. You lose the life force energy. You lose the excitement and you're living on caffeine. You're living on coffee and energy drinks and looking for all the quick hits. That's such a powerful analogy to really I hope some of you are sitting there thinking like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what she's talking about. I know exactly how that feels. And that's exactly where I'm at is I am not connected to any type of life force energy. And I think it's so interesting, this path that I have been on, where I lived so much in my mind and my physical body, just like bouncing from one system to another, where I was led as I got curious. I was at a rock bottom place in life, just feeling like I cannot do this. I cannot handle this. I was so unaware of the other systems and how to take care of them, even though I was raised in organized religion. And I thought I was letting my soul and my spirit guide, but I wasn't. It wasn't coming from my soul. It was coming from a place of fear. Like the decisions that I was making and how I was viewing God was coming from a place of fear and safety, control, and what other people thought of me, not a true connection to my spirit and my soul and what it was calling for. Just remember thinking this doesn't feel right. But I just was so scared of what other people would think that I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And I just remember that feeling, like that whisper that wasn't in my head, but this isn't the time, this isn't the place. That wasn't the container that was right for that relationship. And I don't even know if I should say it wasn't right for that relationship, because we had 2 beautiful children together and had some really great memories. Maybe it's not the right energy or the right reason that you're doing what you're doing. And now I've started to recognize and realize what happens when we don't live from alignment and we try to control and our brains try to make the decision. Truth always bubbles up. Life is always inviting us back into alignment, back into truth, back into authenticity. And so this is where we really, sometimes hit rock bottom, sometimes step out of integrity. Sometimes we end up becoming a version of ourselves that we never wanted to be, just because we were living from our mental system rather than what our soul wanted to experience. And we're always invited back into that. And so truth is always going to bubble up. And what I've learned is that it's so much better to listen the first time around and get the learning and the expansion and take what is here for you to take, the knowledge, the understanding, maybe even the fullness of what life has to offer. Because when you don't, you're going to be invited back into it one way or another. That's the beauty in life, is that we think we can control it, but we can't. Our souls came here and are here for a certain experience, for growth and expansion. And we have to be willing to hold both. Also the pain, also the disappointment. And it's not a matter in life. It's not a matter of, not ever experiencing pain. It's just choosing the pain. Life is constantly moving and we get to weave this beautiful tapestry of our life. We get to create this beautiful tapestry and we're constantly weaving it together and staying connected to, hey, what does my soul want now? Is this a season of slowing down and maybe spending more time with my kids, connection with a parent? Maybe it's a time to really amp things up and this is a season of growth. But it really requires alignment, really requires you to be with yourself, finding those moments of quietness, turning off all of the noise that's coming from right, left, and sideways. So I want to share with you signs that you're out of alignment. You feel tired, even when you're not doing very much. You're overperforming for people who under-recognize you. Your nervous system is fried always braced, rarely breathing. You're living on autopilot. You feel resentful, frustrated, and numb. You're chasing clarity instead of making space to receive it. And a couple of examples when you're moving into alignment, life starts to feel more like flow, less like force. You make decisions that honor your truth, and your energy becomes more expansive in a really good way. Opportunities fit you, and not the you that has to perform. Your heart feels like it's finally speaking its native language. Can you imagine? Maybe you've had glimpses of that, and maybe you never have. But if you can imagine how that can feel, you can start to move more towards it. Alignment is a practice. It's something that we're continually sitting with and moving more into toward. It's fluid. We just want to pull ourselves back into alignment as quickly as we recognize, oh my goodness, I've lost my life force. I've gone horizontal. How can I get more supported? Where do I have these energy leaks? Where am I saying yes when it's actually a no? Where am I allowing my mind to keep me stuck because it's in fear? Where have I been inspired to do something that I'm not taking action towards doing? Okay. And now I want to share with you 3 daily alignment checkpoints. Okay. These are specific questions that you can ask yourself every day to help you stay in alignment, to come back to center, back to the life force energy, back to the flow of energy as quickly as you can. First one, this is the body question. Where am I contracting? Where do I feel like I'm in contraction? And it might be in certain relationships. It might be in conversations that you're having. But asking yourself, where am I contracting? And then we're going to go into the heart. Notice how I said we're not going to the mind. We're dropping into the heart. And the question here is, what do I actually want right now? This can be a challenging question simply because some of us have never given ourselves permission to ask for what we need or what we desire. And the other part to this is we've never experienced what we actually desire. And so it's hard to even connect to. But the heart knows exactly where it is. So the mind will base decisions off of what it's experienced, but the heart, it knows the way and it knows exactly what you want. The mind will try to talk you out of it and like, oh, we can't get there. We haven't experienced that yet. But the heart, it knows exactly what to do. And then the last question is all about truth. Truth and authenticity, which is the highest frequency, which is going to expand your energetic field, your life force energy. And the question for this is this choice mine or is it inherited? This one holds a lot because this shows up all the time with religion, culture, parents, spouses, partners, our children. Is this what I want? Is this for me? Or is it for someone else? Here's what's important to understand. Alignment doesn't make your life pain-free. It makes your life true and authentic. It disrupts, it rearranges, it closes doors that were draining you. It opens pathways that ask you to rise. Your life will meet you at the level of the alignment you're willing to choose today. Ask yourself those questions every day to bring you back into alignment, back into the flow, back into the ease of life that is here for you to experience. Friends, thank you for being here. I hope that this added value to your life in one way or another. If you enjoyed it, please share it with a friend, follow along, and leave a comment in the comment section. I'm here for you. I am you. And together we rise. Trust your knowing. Take bold, courageous moves. Honor your energy and rise into who you're meant to be. Feel free to carry this alignment into every step, breath, and conversation. If today resonated, send it to a friend, because together we rise.